Okay, never thought I'd be making another one. I'd prefer to keep away from this, but I'm in a dilemma right now. I'm in a huge dilemma right now. I'm recording this in the Fleet of Facility game instead of the Forsaken game because do I really want to keep playing that game with all the bullshit that's been happening? I'm pretty sure you all know what's going on. I don't think I need to explain it. At first, I wanted to create a video where I was working on a video where I would be giving out a list of what I would change for Forsaken. It's not because of the drama, but it's because of how boring it is to play now. Usually I just brush aside the drama if the game is just fun, but I can't do that. The game just revolves around you just rushing to do generators, not helping the team, just so you can become killer. The fun part of the game. You are not rewarded for helping your team. Forsaken is not a team-based game. It is an every man for yourself team. Helping your teammates as a nice bonus. That's what the game has devolved into. I can fend for myself for 10 entire minutes. I am not scared of a milestone 4 just eliminated the lobby if it means that I myself can win. Why? It got to the point where when I was playing the game, I actually had a lot of fun playing as 007 because he can teleport, he can make clones of himself. It was just fun because it supported only me. Whereas other survivors like Guest requires insane prediction and reaction in order to get any value. Elliot's rush hour is still broken, but very easily targetable. Veronica is very broken. I do not like using Veronica, not because that I'm not used to her, but But the point is that I was gonna make an entire set of balance changes on how exactly I would change Forsaken. I'm gonna show it up in the screen. It has something to do with completely changing how the reward system works. I'd be giving a complete overhaul so that generators wouldn't be as powerful for sentinels and supports, as well as nerfing it a little bit for survivalists, not too much. I would also be giving a few buffs towards the sentinel and supports rewards, while giving a few extra ones for all survivors. I would also be changing it wouldn't be that much about killers. It'd just be when you lose a match, depending on how many survivors you killed, you'd still get extra rewards added into the base, so it doesn't feel like a complete loss. It'd be a 1-to-1 where if you killed like 7, it'd be like a shy short of when you win as a killer. It'd be that kind of thing. That was the goal that I wanted to go for. I wanted to propose an idea on how exactly I would make the game a lot better. I'll be sharing a link to the Google Doc if you want to see more in detail, as well as some other concepts. Like it wouldn't just be reward systems, but it would be balancing the survivors and killers themselves. I had a few ideas in mind. One of them was an entire new ability for John Doe, which had been in my mind. It had something to do with his digital footprint. You could emerge from the digital footprint. It was an interesting one. The entire purpose was to give John Doe a bit more strategy into it. So, do you want to do that? So you can see it over there, my vision of that. It could probably be used for another killer, but it was a type of idea I had, considering Sixer's kit works as Blood Rush. Blood Rush is active until Sixer gains enough blood in order to use Blood Hunt, which then the ability changes. That was the idea. And considering one of the balancers proposed the new stab type ability, Empowering Stab, for 2-time. that was the kind of motivation I got. I would also be reworking some stuff. I mean, I would make killers like Cool Kid slasher less prone to looping. Cool Kid in particular, but Sixer, I would pretty much be reworking the way his entire kit works, starting with Hemorrhage. It works something like Dead by Daylight. Manic Fixation. I want someone out there on YouTube proposed that I mean, I don't play Dead by Daylight, so it worked like a similar, I think, perk. Yeah, I think that's what it's called for a killer that increases the speed for how long you've been chasing a survivor. That would have been perfect for Sixer, so that he isn't really he's less prone to looping instead of just relying on ESP abilities for him to gain speed. He capped at like 25%. It worked as that either a survivor is dead, or it would gradually lower the speed when he is not in any chase. So the entire purpose is to not engage with Sixer, and that's where I think supports would really shine, because I think supports are the biggest counter to Sixer other than looping, and that's kind of what I wanted to go for. I had like an entire script ready for. Well, no, it wasn't necessarily. It was almost done. It was almost done. It was a lot of pages, that I had it set, and to see the owners just being very negligent on their staff on. Basil legit knows that one of their developers, not just any developer, but the lead balancer, had been talking to Soul, and instead of sternly telling them that, okay, if you don't cut it out, we're gonna fire you, instead of doing that, it was like, oh no, please don't talk to Soul, please, and he's like, nah, I'm gonna keep doing it, and basically like, oh well, nothing we can do about that. It's not like I'm the owner or anything. Nah, that's not my problem. That's such a horrible example to set for the community that has suffered through this man. That man has brought nothing but misery towards the entire, not just the community, but for the game itself. And we're not even going to get started on the fact that Sixer and V had 3 days in order to balance them. In order for the balancers to balancers had 3 days to balance out Sixer and V. That is ridiculous. How do you expect characters that you're going to introduce into a game to be balanced in 3 days? That's ridiculous. First things first, you propose an idea. Yeah. That's pretty much the set example. Then once it gets greenlit after a few changes, you would then playtest it to see where it stands. Usually you would start it off as them being very overpowered just to see where it goes, and then you would gradually tone it down. Or you could start it as underpowered on purpose. But the point is that the characters feel like they're not released yet. They feel like they're still in playtesting. Why? Let's just not get started on the absolutely ridiculous character that is Veronica. She does not feel like a survivalist. She's like a mix of a survivalist and a sentinel. And not the Shedletsky kind. The absolute ridiculous kind. The fact that she does not get any penalty. The fact that there's no, like, that Bumper doesn't share the same penalty as Charge does, where another V can't bump the killer for like 10 seconds. The fact that she doesn't have that is absurd. The fact that there's no penalty stacking for every Veronica in the game. The fact that stacking even exists at all is absurd. I think you would assume that they would allow survivor stacking in like a special game mode, but no, they do not. So yeah, the problem for me, and I mean, I'm just a very mixed. I really tried to stay optimistic for the game's future, but at this point, I can't. I don't know where the game will lead. Uh, it's sad, honestly. I did not want to make this video because I still had hope. I wanted to make a video stating how I personally would change the game to make it more to encourage survivors to work together while buffing the killers for them to not have a miserable day, considering Noli is the only consistent killer to Noli's the only killer to gain consistent value, to gain consistent wins. He's the only character. Other than maybe John Doe and 1x1, but they're weird. They're very weird. Not exactly the most consistent ones. So yeah, that's pretty much where I stand. I don't know if I'm gonna be playing the game as much now, nor am I gonna be uploading any of those videos. I don't really know what else I could fill the gap for Forsaken, considering it's a one-of-a-kind game. Maybe I could post some Fleet of Facility videos or something. I don't really know if that would catch the same feeling. The fun fact about this, I used to play Fleet of Facility way back in its alpha stage. But before the trading system existed, before the levels existed, before skins existed, before this existed, before that, before even the cave existed. It was just a barren wasteland when Facility Zero was the only map. I remember those times. The level doesn't show it because I don't play it that much, but I do remember playing the absolute shit out of this game. It was fun. The map is interesting. Kind of missed the mountain, but oh well. The game has had some changes. This is my first time actually seeing the map. Very interesting. Literally, all they have to do in order for this whole drama to disappear is for them to move the game and just come up with a new name. Like, they could just use Damnation as the name. You know, the original name of Forsaken, but no. But we lose money. We lose money. Think like Roblox doesn't encourage new games to thrive. We only did it by luck. The Discord is filled with 1 million people. Around 1 million people. It doesn't take a genius to figure out, oh, can't you just announce the entire Discord that there's a new game that you can try out? I don't care if I lose my stats. I don't care if I lose my stats. Every single killer besides Sixer I have on Milestone 4. I have Noob 007, I have Shedletsky Elliot, Dusakar, Builderman at Milestone 4. I don't care if I lose that. I can grind that back up again. I don't care about a shiny skin getting deleted. All I want is for the game to not be associated with that man ever again, and that all this drama would just cease to be. They're just shooting themselves in the foot at this point. All of this negativity could have been removed had they just changed the goddamn name. Cause I don't know what's under some contract they signed, but technically Soul wouldn't have control over this new game, so-called new game, as it's technically not Forsaken. That's a legal loophole. Why aren't they taking it? Do they not know what type of deep shit Roblox is in? For you to let your staff continue talking to the man who wants to diddle, not only diddle kids, but is known to be a compulsive liar and a manipulative bad person. Are y'all out of your minds? What did you think the community would say? Would they be like, oh well, we totally understand? I myself tried to understand where they were coming from, as it would be like a normal business corporate stuff. But then I remember, wait, this is Roblox. This isn't like EA or something. This is Roblox. What the fuck? Yeah, transparent my foot. So yeah. So yeah. I'm gonna leave the Google Doc where I show my ideas for changing Forsaken in the description, as well as some concepts that I have. Actually, I have a. Let's just step away from the negativity for a second. But a question arose in my mind that I want to ask you guys, if anyone's watching this. If you were to change, no, not change. If your character were to be Forsaken, what type of class would you be? Would you be a sentinel, support, survivalist, and what type of abilities would you have? What would you contribute to the team? What would your lore be? So, like, your Roblox avatar, like, who, or you yourself, whatever you want to create, if they were to be Forsaken, what would they be? And I thought long and hard about that. I like 7 and 7's playstyle, so my character, who would be named by my tag 130, would be a more stealth survivor, a type to evade. It'd be more like a survivalist that would try to evade the killer at all costs. To give it an idea, the health would be at 100 HP, as like any normal survivalist, but the stamina would be at 90, and this is because of a passive that I want to include, which has to do with my Halo, which would reduce any incoming damage by 50%, unless I'm using abilities, obviously. And the second one would be with the second passive would be my tree hat, that would grant me render any killer ESP ability useless until they bring my character down 50 HP, in which case I permanently lose that for the rest of the game. That was the type of playstyle I was going for. So killers can't use ESP, like 1x1 can't use Unstable Eye in order to save me until my health drops to 50%. Sixer's abilities are useless. They can't gain the speed, even in Last Man Standing. So getting me down to 50% is a must, if at the very least. Just in case. Because, survivalists are supposed to thrive in Last Man Standing. The abilities would be, a block. It'd be camouflage, so that I'd take like 3 seconds to disappear. It lasts for 8 seconds, and it'd be similar to the cloak ability in Die of Death. That's the kind of thing that I was going for. And then the last one, I mean, I'm perfectly content with 2 abilities, but the third one, it was a bit interesting. It would be throwing my shield, which would be the stun the killer for like 1 second. It would mainly be to benefit me myself, since the block ability would be disabled until I get the shield back, or until the full cooldown has been set. The damage reduction is very overpowered, considering how prominent looping is, which is why I decided to reduce the stamina cap to 90 to compensate. Because the entire purpose of the character will be to evade the killer. They are not good at extended chases. They are very good at hiding, though. That is the thing. Leave this man for last with more, and you have not brought him down to 50 HP whatsoever. It's gonna be a nightmare to find him. That's all I wanted to talk about. I'm actually interested in what you guys have in mind if you were to be Forsaken. I know my little concept needs some balancing changes, and that's the point. That's the point. And for me, it may seem good or balanced or whatnot, but for others it may not be, and that's where constructive criticism comes in. Like, how exactly would this impact the overall state of the game itself? You could start it off as like overpowered, but then tone it down a bit. That, like, how any balancing play or how any play testing should be. What type of style would your character be if you were Forsaken? What would you contribute to the team? Like, if we were to just ignore all the drama that's happening for Forsaken, what type of kit would you have? I'm actually very curious to see. Would you be like Guest? Would you be like Elliot? Or would it be a completely different type of character? Let me know. And hopefully Forsaken fucking moves the game. I really do hope the game doesn't die, because it could have been something amazing. So yeah, this has been a long video, so yeah, I'll catch y'all next time. If I have any other game ideas that I want to do. Probably clicked off. I don't think anyone's watching this, but oh well. Peace.